All
All
right.
right. So up next, Charles, is the story of a fading actress who decides to use a black market drug, a cell replicating substance that temporarily creates a younger, better version of herself, unknowingly giving her horrifying side effects in the substance. And this film premiered at Cannes back in May. Also played at Toronto and at TIFF. And let me just say, as a rule, you guys know I don't do horror, right? And it's funny. The only reason I did horror on this film is because I was slated to see it in Toronto. They had it as a part of their Midnight Madness package. I was not staying up to 3 in the morning watching this movie. So I was like, yeah, I'll wait until I get back. But the story, as I just laid out, shows Demi Moore as an actress called Elizabeth Sparkle, right? And they go through this whole long extended scene, Charles, at the very beginning of the film, where we see her get a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and how over time, what happens with this star before we even meet Elizabeth, right? She is sort of like a Jane Fonda-esque, has a show where she does fitness, sort of like in the 80s, and she's been doing it from the 80s to now. And of course, she's aged tremendously. There's a studio executive of the show, or executive producer, who's just a really not crass, but like a swarmy, like just really bad guy played by Dennis Quaid, man. Like he's really good in this. And Quaid is not that character, so he's playing against type. So he's looking for the next young thing. He's looking for who's going to be the next Elizabeth Sparkle. And suddenly Sparkle is sort of depressed, living in a high rise, has all the money, has everything that she could want, but she's lonely, Charles. No love, no friends, no relationships. And suddenly one day she gets somebody she goes to the doctor because she has an accident, and one of the attendees gives her this card for something. If you want to change your life, call this number. And of course, the dummy calls the number, Charles, and suddenly she's subject 503, who is getting the substance. And I could go into much more detail about what it's about, what it becomes. But when they say you get a newer, younger self, you absolutely do. And you also get a whole bunch of other stuff that they don't tell you in the fine print. And I will just say that for the most part of the film, um, there are rules that are attached, right? And if you don't follow the rules, which don't get followed in this movie, they end up in horrifying effects. And I will just say that I haven't seen a third act with that much blood since Carrie in 1976. It was so much. I told one of my colleagues, does a human body have that much blood in it? The Substance is a really, really, I'm not going to call it a really great film. It is a wonderful character study that I think will spur lots of conversations, post-film conversations. I dug it, man. I thought Demi Moore, she had to get in some great shape. Parental advisory at home if you're trying to go see The Substance. There's a whole lot of nudity and there's a whole lot of blood. So you figure I look, don't say I didn't tell you, because people are always like, well, Tim, you didn't tell. It's a whole lot of nudity, whole lot of blood, whole lot of blood. So I would give The Substance a strong B. Demi Moore, to be 57 years old, from watching that film, she's done some amazing things with her body because I saw it all. I saw it all. And the film also stars Margaret Qualley as the younger version of Demi Moore. But The Substance, man, is worth your time. I would check it out. All right, Charles, we got about a minute to go, man.
Well,
Um,
real quick, let me say
Go ahead.
this. When we were in Toronto, the Substance has really good PR because they had a whole bunch of those posters posted up on lights around the area saying, if you want, are you unhappy? Let's try the substance. And they had, you could tear off the number, and the number was the number from the film. So yeah.
Don't try the substance.
Don't try.
I'm telling you,
Be happy.
don't do it. Don't do it to yourself.